you're talking about like the time frame, and if you're
like what people are actually aware of and like what they know. Because like if you just see something, even if it's very graphic, if you don't like believe it because there's not like the scientific evidence or like the information isn't out yet, then it still is like slightly different, I think.
So now that we know a lot more about the research behind the effects that smoking can have on the body, it appeals more to our emotion. So that's what you're saying, right? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyone else wanted to? Yes.
I think it also depends on who the audience is, like the effectiveness of it, because I think it would appeal more to like a younger crowd who just started smoking maybe, as opposed to someone who's been smoking for like 40 years. I feel like if that person who's been smoking for like 40, 30 years saw this ad, like, would it be as effective because they're already, you know, set in their ways and their habits? But, you know, maybe someone who's younger who just started smoking, they would probably get more out of this anti-campaign, I guess.
And they might, even the older generation might even say, oh, you know, I've been smoking for 30 or 40 years. I don't look like that.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's a good way to think about it as well. The audience is definitely really important. Did anyone else? Did you want to?
I was basically going to say the same thing. Even if it's like like a kid or someone who's younger and they've never smoked, but maybe they started picking up because they know someone who's been smoking for that long. And like, my mom doesn't look like that, you know, and she's been smoking forever, you know. It's kind of like DARE program, you know, like they talk a lot about like the negative effects, but then when you have that small population that wants to experiment and see what it's like, and then that doesn't happen, then the health educators are liars and they don't believe things like that.
Right. Good. That's another great point to consider. So, and the fact that DARE is so prevalent today, I mean, compared to back then, it's really, I don't know the exact date of when it was established, but it wasn't, I wouldn't think it was as prevalent. So now let's think about how we can relate this topic to Rutgers and to the Rutgers community. So it's a very politicized, controversial issue, and so now what I'm going to ask you to do is think about, would a ban on smoking at the Rutgers campus, would it work? So what I'm going to do is split you up into two groups. One group is going to get together and think of, so let's pretend that you're preparing proposals for the Rutgers Board of Governors, and you're going to discuss reasons why smoking should be banned on the Rutgers campus, and then the other group will advocate reasons why we should keep the status quo. So let's see how many. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we're just going to split it right here, so Rachel and Dre, you can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dre, you actually be part of that group, and Rachel, you be part of this group, and Ashley, you'll be part of this group. So, so this group will, you guys will propose, you guys will be in favor of banning smoking on campus, and that group will be in favor of the status quo. So, keep it as is, that people can smoke on campus, okay? So I'll give you about 5 minutes to discuss, and then we'll share our thoughts.
What do you guys think?
Okay.
They don't sound like the time. They sound like Black and Mild.
Like if the smoking,
Not
the
gonna be
Like the same, yeah, I don't
enforced,
think
and
they're
then
serious.
also, so we can think of like
I
counters
mean, there's
to
also an
that.
enforcement
so
issue too. Like that means you have to spend more resources
yeah,
enforcing it,
Rutgers is in the
policing,
middle of
and
the
just
city,
doing a lot more like.
you can't really do that
that's
enough
effectively.
I think our biggest
Yeah.
argument is just like
It's not gonna be
personal
enforced
freedom,
by our
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we don't want to
Yeah.
discriminate
Everyone
against
is
people
going to
Yeah.
ostracize
who
part of the
smoke.
population.
right?
I mean, like,
It is a personal choice at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
like
It's also like, what exactly is like on campus? Because like you could just go anywhere else in New Brunswick, and like it's not really, it's not necessarily going to prevent people from smoking. It's just going to like put a stigma, like more of a stigma on it.
especially if the precedent sets too. If like anything that's universal needs to be unsafe, you just ban it. It's like so alcohol can be unsafe if like it's abused. You know, like smoking.
It's like where do you draw the line?
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard to find out where you want to stop.
Yeah.
It's hard to just transition just from like you're allowed to smoke, but also like you can't.
Right.
So someone that is like a very might be addicted, or you know, it's like a great complication in their
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
How would you enforce it?
Yeah, I think enforcement is the big issue. Yeah.
It's hard to enforce because of what you said, like police and everything. We have other crime story too.
It's like when it's out in the open, it's like, how do you?
They could say like a cause of stress on people that are already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like instead of banning, there should be more like outlets of where they can turn to for their addictions. You know,
Right.
instead of just saying like, no, you're not allowed to do that. Maybe like more counseling.
Education, outreach.
Yeah, something
Yeah, we
like
do
that.
that already.
How's this group doing? Good? What ideas do you have following so far?
That's it.
Yeah, so we were saying how we need our freedoms. Where would you draw the line? No smoking, then why wouldn't alcohol or other things that are harmful be banned? And then we said it's hard to enforce, so it costs a lot of money to enforce. And you just brought up a really good idea. We instead we should do
Be more inclusive rather than
like banning it.
Yeah.
Like encourage people maybe to stop and give them the resources to stop smoking.
Good. Actually, the other group in the other class they talked about University of Notre Dame. They gave free nicotine gum to students so that they can stop
That's a good
smoking.
idea.
So, and they're actually, so I actually didn't know that. So you could kind of use that.
Yeah, I think we found common ground then.
Yeah. Good. All right. How's this group doing?
We love people.
I think there's even like restrictions. I know you're not allowed to smoke within like 30 feet of some buildings, public buildings. Like,
I think it's a law.
Is
It's state
it?
law, yeah. So I mean, there are precautions in place. It's like you just can't like force them all like one area.
And what about the fact that
So hard to
if you're
enforce
walking down
again.
the street and
I always
you're
think
Right,
it's
right,
something.
let's say you have asthma,
Because you just got in your backyard or something that can
like
smoke.
on the other side of
They
the
can't
street
smoke once
because
it
you
gets
don't want to be
dispersed
affected by
everywhere.
that. So
We can definitely emphasize the health aspect. Like, I know personally I am trying to quit, but every time I see something like that, or I see someone smoking, I really want to cigarette. Like, right now I really